Hey guys, so I just got back from finally seeing Gemini Man. This was a whole fucking ordeal trying to get to this fucking movie. Of all movies, it's Gemini Man. I had trouble getting the time to go see. Anyways, so one of the biggest reasons why was because fucking my movie theater is trying to make me go see it in high frame rate 3D, which like that was like the majority of the show time. Like there's half the show times were for high frame rate 3D. The other show times were the other half of the show times were for just regular 2D. And of course, the high frame rate 3D ones were like in the middle of the afternoon, which is perfect for me to go see this movie. But I refuse to because one, why is high frame rate still or how why is 3D is still a fucking thing that is still around? I don't know. Why are we still trying to make 3D a thing? It should have died like yesterday. And high frame rate can go fuck off. It's been 5 years. I thought after that experiment of the Hobbit movies went over well like a fucking fart in a church. I thought that gimmick pretty much died, but apparently they decided to bring it back 5 years later, and I'm like, I'm not seeing that because the last time I saw the Hobbit movies in high frame rate, I got a giant fucking headache, and I hate having a headache while watching a movie. So, anyways, yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna see it, and then I was like, okay, the only times are like 140, 740. 740 was like it was like one of the only times I could go see it after work, and of course it's like a late showing for pretty much for me because I usually work early in the morning sometimes, and I tried to go see it yesterday, and I overslept because today was my only day off. I figured, oh, I'll just go see it tomorrow or yesterday. I was going to go see it yesterday because today's my day off, and then I fucking overslept and I missed the 740 showing, and then I had to go see it tonight. So here I am going to see Gemini Man. Hope you really fucking people watch this or like this review. So Gemini Man was a movie that I was heads or tails about because it had a lot of talented people in front of the camera and behind the camera. Particularly having Will Smith being the lead, I generally love Will Smith. He's a fucking national treasure. And Ang Lee was the director, who has made some really fucking good movies over the years. He's made some bad, but he's made some really fucking good movies. So it's like, yeah, we'll see what happens with this. It's like, we'll see what happens with this. It's like, it could be a really good Will Smith movie or a really bad Will Smith movie. I was hoping if it was at least bad, it was going to be like After Earth bad. You know, like one of those bad passion vanity projects that like you need to see to believe just how bad it is. But I was like, and I was seeing, you know, when this movie was starting to get reviews that it was getting really poorly received. And I was like, hopefully, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers while like trying to stay away from reviews, like hoping that this is that bad Will Smith movie, you know, the really entertaining bad Will Smith movie. And well, it's not the worst movie I've seen all year, but it's for fucking forgettable if I've ever seen an action movie. Probably one of the most forgettable action movies I've seen all year. Alright, this was a movie that was so goddamn generic and cookie cutter that, like, you could see everything that happens in this movie coming, like, I knew everything that was going to happen in this movie pretty much beat for fucking beat. There was no surprises. There were no gotcha moments. There were no twists and turns. It was just you see everything coming a mile away. If you see one action movie, you've seen pretty much an action movie like this. You've seen them all. it's forgettable. What is it? It's fucking forgettable. It wasn't terrible. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was just fucking forgettable and generic. Will Smith is fine. He is probably the thing that carries this movie because he is Will Smith. Like, even in a shitty movie, he does try to give his best in the role he's given. He tries to make what he's given work. Hell, I've liked, in bad movies, I've liked them before. Like, hell, the Aladdin remake that came out recently, he was the best thing about that fucking movie, even though there are parts where he's just trying to do his best Robin Williams impression, but there was, for the most part, he was trying to do his own thing, and he's fine in this. He has some pretty good acting moments in this. He's just given really nothing to work with, but he's trying his best with what he's got. It's Will Smith. I love it. He's a great actor. Nice seeing Mary Elizabeth Winstead in something again. I like her as an actress. She's fine. I like that they didn't make her like the automatic love interest. They kind of did at first, but they don't really get together at all by the end of the movie. So it's not like one of those things where she's just there for being a love interest. She's also a DIA agent like Will Smith and is really well trained and can handle herself on her own. I thought she was fine. I liked her in it. Nice seeing Clive Owens too in it, even though he's just bad guy Clive Owens in every fucking bad guy Clive Owens movie you ever seen him in. Yeah. Like I said, there's not much to talk about this movie. You've seen this movie a million times before. Tell me if you haven't heard this story before. It's Will Smith is a hit man who's like the best at what he does. Ching! I haven't heard that one before. John Wick. Just recently John Wick. Who is being hunted down by his own agency or government or whatever fuck, and he's hired. Somebody decided to create a clone version of himself, who ends up being a younger version of himself, and there's also a secret plot by this evil organization to try to build a team of super soldiers, genetically engineered super soldiers. I'm like, where have I not seen this before? Like, every fucking action movie in the last 20 years. Like, God, it's so boring or so generic. Like, the best part about this fucking movie is I didn't notice until probably about a few days ago that this was a movie, like a script that was bounced around since 1997. I'm not making that up. I was 9 when this movie was still like first around, and I'm 31. What the fuck? Like, this movie took 22 years to make. Why? Like, I guess because of the effects, but if this is, I would hope that this is the same script as the script that the movie that we got wasn't the exact same script that we would have got like 97. I hope not, because God, that even then would have been generic and boring and uninteresting, and just even back in 97, like, you can tell this is a movie that was written in 97. There's references to the 90s throughout it. Like, Will Smith apparently was cloned before that sheep was in the 90s. The Dolly the sheep. He was the first clone that we never heard of. But yeah, whatever. I also love in this movie, there's multiple points in this movie. They can't figure out why they're easily being tracked down. Like, no matter where they go, what country, they go across the world, try to escape Will Smith and Clive Owen, young Will Smith and Clive Owen, but they keep being tracked down easily. And they're like, why does this keep, or like, they're like, why is this happening? I'm like, this has happened every single place that you go. Can't you fucking figure this out? They obviously have a tracker on you somewhere, and what a surprise, at the end of the movie you find out Will Smith is implanted with a tracker inside him. Like, you're a fucking highly trained assassin who knows the government is kind of fishy. You wouldn't have come up with this, figured this out already? I mean, even I could have fucking figured this out. And I'm fucking watching the movie. Yeah, I thought that was funny. Okay, before I get done with this review, I guess there's only one other thing to talk about, and that's the effects in this movie. Because that's been talked about a lot in this movie. And that's where you can tell a lot of the budget went to, is the effects in this movie. The effects in this movie, were all over the fucking place. They were really all over the place. And it's not just the de-aging effects, it's the effects in general. Like, there are parts of this movie that are horrible. Like, horrible CGI. Like, that look like they came from a fucking video game. Like, there's that bike chase scene in the middle of the movie that is really bad. Like, I noticed throughout majority of this movie, like, it was not till the end of the movie where I noticed that the worst effects looked was when it was a scene was taking place in daylight and the effects were being exposed because of daylight, and because of that they looked like shit. That was a scene that was so bad. There were parts of that I was like, God, it was distracting. It was very distracting how bad some of the effects were in that bike chase scene. And it's like, man, you couldn't have had I don't know, motorcycle stuntmen, anything like that. No, you just had to have this generic fucking, or you had this really badly rendered CGI chase fight or bike fight, whatever the hell you want to call it. As far as the young Will Smith de-aging effect, it wasn't that bad. I'll say it wasn't that bad. For the most part, it wasn't that bad. There were parts where it was pretty bad, but particularly the end of the movie, there's some. I've been told ahead of time that the last act has some of the worst effects. I don't know if they ran out of budget or something. What the fuck happened? But there's some uncanny valley creepy ass shit towards the end of this movie with Will Smith and the de-aging effect. It's just it'll give me fucking nightmares. It's not like Jack Black is a baby and that house of a clock in the walls, but it's bad. It's really bad. There's some pretty bad effects in that. I don't know if the high frame rate would have fucking fixed that. I don't know, because I don't fucking care. But if you can't, this is how normally movies are seen. This is how it's going to be seen when it comes on home video. If your effects look bad in 2D and regular frame rate, you might want to recheck it, man. I don't know. There's some bad effects towards the end of this movie that are pretty bad. There's one right before that bike chase scene. There's a part where Will Smith is looking for a scope on his sniper rifle at the young Will Smith, and it looks really bad. That looked really bad too. That was really noticeable. Yeah, I don't recommend seeing this in the theaters. It's so forgettable and generic. I didn't hate it. Maybe you have rental. Maybe if it's on Netflix. There you go. It's not that bad. You like Will Smith, fine. If you like Yang Lee, fine. There are better movies with both those guys may have done in the past than this. I'd recommend over this. Yeah. So yeah, I don't recommend it. Trailers. what the fuck did I... Oh, Just Mercy. This is a movie about Michael B. Jordan is a lawyer who is defending a death row inmate played by Jamie Foxx. Wow, Jamie Lee Foxx. I'm gonna start calling him that now. That's like my mom called Joaquin Phoenix Jaquan Phoenix. Not making that up. My mom called him Jaquan Phoenix. She's like, but that's a long story. But anyways, Michael B. Jordan is trying to defend a death row inmate played by Jamie Foxx, who's been wrongly accused of murdering a white girl in Alabama. And yeah, obviously it's a movie about racial tension, and it's obviously an Oscar movie, if I've ever seen one. It's an Oscar bait movie I've ever seen. It's Oscar season, so yeah. I was saying it was getting good reviews. Of course it has. But, whatever. It didn't look bad. Like, it's got a good cast, so maybe alright. Queen and Slim. This is a trailer I've gotten so many goddamn times. I'm just waiting for this movie to finally come out. Because I'm tired of seeing this trailer. It's been a while since I had this trailer, though, technically. But I swear I've gotten this like a year ago. Like this trailer a year ago. It's like a black Bonnie and Clyde. They pretty much say that in the movie, where it's this black couple who get pulled over by a policeman and end up shooting him in self-defense, and then they're on the run from the law because of that, and that's based on the movie. It does look really good. The kid from Get Out, the main kid from Get Out's in it. I like every single thing I've seen him in a movie so far. He's a really good actor, so I'm on board for it. It looks good. I just want to see it fucking come out already. And then Terminator Dark Fate. I got for some reason I got the teaser trailer for this instead of like that regular trailer that's been out for a few months now. I got the teaser trailer that I've seen like numerous times over like the last few months. Man, I hope this is good. I love Terminator. They're pretty much doing, like, you don't know, they're pretty much doing what they did with the recent Halloween sequel, and pretty much ignoring all the sequels except 2. That's it. Like, it's pretty much a reboot. So, I don't know. Tim Miller's directing. That's kind of reassuring. And fucking Linda Hamilton. That's just, I guarantee you, no matter what, even if this movie sucks, Linda Hamilton, I can tell you right now, is probably be awesome in it. So, there's that. So, Linda Hamilton's almost fucking awesome in anything she does. God damn, I love her. But yeah, that's as far as trailers. I'm gonna try to watch Nightmare Cinema. I still haven't watched it yet. I got a lot of fucking of these movies, the horror movies, to catch up on before Halloween. So, I could get on it very fucking quickly. So Nightmare Cinema I'm going to try to do for the next week or so. Maybe hopefully the next few days. And then this week is Zombieland 2 and Maleficent. So that's that. Until then, I will talk to you guys later.